lake number 4 is the second consecutive short par 4 here on the lake course, and really the last good scoring chance on this 9. After this hole, the final few holes tend to play a little more difficult, a little bit more of a challenge to get a birdie on those holes. But here on lake number 4, we really just have one decision to make off the tee, and that's how aggressive to be. How close do we really want to get to this green? There are 2 fairway bunkers out there that pretty big trouble if you find yourself in one of those. Makes for a really difficult approach shot. So typically the best play here is just to hit something short of those out to the right side. There's a big slope along the right hand side of this fairway that'll funnel anything over there back into the center. So for today, I'm going to go ahead and take probably about a 5-iron off of this tee out at the right hand side of that fairway. Just use that slope to bring the ball back into the center and just set up a good look into the green, nice full swing into the green for our second shot. All right, well, as you can see, we've successfully found the fairway here, well short of these bunkers. Don't even bring those into play. And we have about 117 yards left to what is today a front hole location on the right-hand side of this green. So definitely be right here in attack mode. We'll just be going right after this pin, but depending on where the hole location is on this green, it could really be a challenging approach shot. There's a high plateau on the right side and a very low plateau on the left side of this green with a big ridge running right through the center. So depending on where that hole location is, you really want to watch how aggressive or conservative you are with your line. It could leave a really difficult putt for your first birdie putt on the green. So, but for today, go straight at this flag, see if we can give ourselves a good look for birdie. One of the rules of golf situations that we run into most out there on the golf course is the removal of loose impediments. Now, loose impediments are different from movable obstructions in one distinct way. Loose impediments are naturally occurring, so rocks and twigs and branches and leaves and that sort of thing. When you are able to move those, you're able to get those out of the way of your shot. You can take them off your line, you can remove them from nearby your golf ball. However, you are not able to physically move your ball. If the removal of those impediments moves your ball, you'll have to replace it and take a penalty. But there are very specific criteria for what can be removed. First of all, it must be loose, it must not be attached, so you can't break a tree branch off of a tree, but you also can't take a rock out of the ground that's partially embedded. It has to be loose on the surface. And you also have to remove those impediments kind of like one at a time. You can get a couple, but you have to be very careful that you do not disturb the ground underneath. So you couldn't come in and just brush aside a whole group of loose impediments like that, because more than likely you're going to disturb that ground underneath and probably incur a penalty because of it. So instead, you go ahead and take impediments out one at a time that you feel are in your way, always being careful just not to disturb your ball, because again, if it does move, you will get a penalty. But you can go ahead and take those away like this, all the way until you feel like you've cleared enough of those to have a clearer shot than you did before. Again, so must be loose, cannot move your ball, and make sure you do not disturb that ground underneath when removing loose impediments. All right, so nice easy par there. Didn't get our birdie, but always take a low stress par any day of the week. So this lake number 4, just a strategy hole. You know, make sure you have the right strategy off the tee. Leave yourself a nice comfortable shot in for your second. And when you're hitting into the green here, just be aware of where that pin is so that you can avoid missing on the wrong side and having that difficult 2-putt. But hopefully you've done your scoring now, because these first 4 holes are really where you want to get this lake course. It gets a lot more difficult now moving forward.